Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Renegade Pop Culture Podcast on the RPC Network. This is going to be the first in a series, a deep dive, you might say, into one of my favorite TV shows of all time. I am talking, of course, about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Here to discuss this cult classic TV show is my best friend and life sage, the incomparable Kirsten. How you doing, Kirsten?
I'm 5 by 5, my friend.
Awesome. There you go. A little faith reference just to get us started. That's cool. All right. So now basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be covering um, the episodes that we really love from season 2. So, and of course the end of season 1, which is probably the most important episode I would say of season 1 other than the pilot. So if you're wondering why we're doing this, we're basically considering like we're taking on season 2 because first of all, we prefer it. And secondly, because we have more to say about it, really. Because if you look at the season 1 episodes, a lot of them are kind of like one and dones and kind of singular episodes. It's the foundation basically of the series, but because there's only 12 episodes, there's not too much to talk about. So I think we're going to just kind of, take the ending of season 1 and move on to season 2 from that. What do you think of that, Kirsten?
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's a lot of the I don't know if you'd call it like formulatic episodes in the first season, so it's not as much of the gripping stuff, the meaty bits.
Yeah. Well, you want to grip the meaty bits, definitely. Okay. So anyway, we're gonna be starting with Prophecy Girl. So that is the finale of season 1. In which it's kind of the most pivotal episode, I would say, of the first season, of course. And we kind of look at the Master and his master plan, so to speak, of taking out Buffy and sort of ascending to his perch of power, so to speak. So the episode starts off with this huge earthquake, and we see that, the Master is pretty much stoked about it, and he's all like, yay, I'm coming up there, guys, and I'm gonna just destroy you all, and the Hellmouth is mine, and hey, the Anointed's with me, and he's a kid, and he looks like John Cusack. So there's this huge earthquake, which is just tearing up everything, including the library at Sunnydale High, and he just kind of what I love about this is Mark Metcalf, who stars as the Master. He did such a fantastic job because here he is just doing his thing, being the bad guy, and then all of a sudden he just stops nonchalantly and he just kind of looks at the Anointed One and he says, "So what do you think? 5.1?" It just cracks me up every single time. I think Metcalf is a genius, and I think that he really he brought a lot to the role when you consider that role is not the most you don't have too much to sink your teeth into with that role. And yes, I did a vampire pun. Sorry.
Yes.
So what do you think of that?
No,
that opening and that sort of show?
I definitely agree. He's. It's funny when you compare him to the other villains through the rest of the series. They kind of it almost pushes down his value a little bit, but
yeah, it kind of does.
Looking at that, he's a pretty incredible villain.
He was he was the first villain that they really faced, so naturally they're going to have other villains that are maybe a little more powerful or more threatening than him. But when you think about it, he's supposed to be like the Nosferatu vampire, like the first of the vampires. So he should have been a really major villain.
Yeah, it's very classic.
But I think that they maybe, because maybe they didn't know if they were going to have another season after the first one, so they just kind of had him in there for the first season just to have a big bad.
Right.
But anyway, a couple of other points for this episode. First off, we have Xander's unrequited puppy dog crush on Buffy, which I think is pretty much resolved here. But of course, they kept it going, through the next episode. And of course, his jealousy towards Angel just never goes away because that's Xander for you until he meets Anya and, maybe with Cordelia a little bit. But what do you think of the way that he approached Buffy and asked her out? And what do you think of her response?
I feel like they both handled it reasonably well based on the situation. Buffy did a really good job of trying to let him down easy. I think you and I have
Yeah.
talked about this on our own kind of
Yeah,
at
we have.
length about the idea of
Yeah.
just how do you choose? You don't choose who you love romantically. And Buffy loves Xander very much. He's just as important to her as any romantic partner would be. She just doesn't see him that way. And she can't
Hmm.
change that. You know, it's not her fault. It's not her choice. I don't think it's
Yeah.
ever really our choice who we fall in love with or have those romantic feelings for, or who we just have, you know, platonic feelings for. And I
Yeah.
think she did a good job of being honest with him, but trying not to be harsh or hurt his feelings. And I think Xander did act immaturely, especially at first, but that's also understandable. You know, rejection sucks.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
you're in the moment, it's sometimes hard to respond maturely. And they're kids too. I think we forget that. They're pretty young. They're
Yeah. Yeah.
16
They're
or
like
17.
16
So
years old
yeah,
and
so you know, he acts a little bratty, but when it comes down to it, Xander is always there for her when she really needs him with, you know, the big moments and the things that are, you know, when she's in danger. And so
mhm.
I think he can kind of be forgiven for acting a little bit immature because he was hurt. Man, I feel bad for him.
I think so too. I think that with Xander, I do kind of empathize with him because I've faced more rejection in my life than anything else. So it's like I can kind of understand why he was so crushed, you know, somebody that he really did like, and someone who, you know, I mean, it's Buffy. She's beautiful and she's amazing and strong and, you know, and hot. And, you know, and you have Xander and he's just the bridesmaid and never the bride.
Oh, poor Xander.
Hey, I'm right there with him, so you know it's okay, man. I mean, you
You have
know,
the same Xander sense of humor too, so I'm
I
sure you
do,
connect with him a little.
I do. Yeah, I connect with him a little bit. I'd like to think that I'm a little less jerky than
Oh
him
yes, by
sometimes,
far.
because he definitely has his moments where he's just like super
Yeah,
like harsh with her. You know, like
definitely.
she even says that to him
Mhm.
during that episode because he kind of makes a crack about Angel, and I guess you're only into undead guys. And she's like, you know, she's like, geez, Xander, like, settle down there.
Mm.
But he does sort of redeem himself because he does save her life at the end of this episode.
Yeah, he knows he's going in risking his own life and doesn't care. And
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah. So he is Xander. Even though I have my issues with him as a character, I do think that his heart is in the right place for the most part.
definitely. He gets a lot of hate, and I've noticed that recently from like
Yeah, he
interacting with
does.
fans. And it's like, sure, he makes a lot of really immature mistakes, and he's an imperfect person. But if you analyze every person you know, you realize a lot of people are very similar to him. He's
He
got a
has one
very
of
good
the
heart, you know. He's still,
exactly,
yeah,
exactly, and he has one of the best lines in the entire series
yeah,
in season 7
yeah.
when he says, "There's a party in my eye socket and everyone's invited."
Oh,
Oh, that is such an amazing
it is.
line, and Nicholas Brendan was just so great with it, and he just goes like, "Wait, did I actually say that?" He's so good.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Nicholas Brendan, you know, God bless him. I hope he's doing okay because I know that he's gone through some trouble in his life too. Um, but we love him. He's our
Yes,
Xander, so we love
exactly.
him.
Yeah, full support.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Um, okay, so now we move on to Buffy actually going up against the Master and kind of facing her own death in the process. And we have that. There's that incredible scene where we see Giles and Angel, and they're sort of discussing, you know, basically what's going to happen to Buffy against the Master and how it's prophesied that she will die in the fight. And she overhears this, and Sarah Michelle Gellar plays this scene with so much intensity and so much emotional honesty.
Mhm.
It wrecks me every
Yes.
time I see it. It just completely, like, I am totally on her side in that scene because it just seems like she's just a plaything.
Hmm.
It just seems like she's just there to function and she's not really a whole person to
Part of
these
the
people.
prophecy that, yeah,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
control
And then, you
over it.
know, and of course they're like, you know, Giles is trying to talk her down from being upset, and Angel is too, but she just, you know, I kind of understand how she feels. And there's that line where she says, Giles, I'm 16 years old. I don't want to die.
Ugh.
And that just destroys me. I mean, yeah. The thing that I loved about Sarah Michelle Gellar in this role is that she just, not only does she play like the high school Buffy and kind of the airhead Buffy, but she plays her with this like, maturity,
Yeah.
and she plays her with so much feeling and honesty, and that just really gets me. And that's why I think she's just so underrated as an actress.
Oh, it's true.
She should have been A-list, like I guess she was for a while, but she should have had so many more roles, especially now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, she's very talented, and like you said, the way she portrays that part, it's very multifaceted character instead of just being, like you said, that ditzy high school girl. Yeah, she's the girly girl, but
Yeah.
she's also a very complex character. She is very mature. She's very brave. She's very strong. She's got a lot more to her than just that, which is definitely also a testament to the writing of the show.
Yes.
And how the characters
we're
are way more complex.
You and I are just huge Buffy fans.
Yeah, we are.
Like anybody listening to this, they can tell that we are complete Buffy fanatics, and we love her as a character. And I've often said that you're like my Buffy in a way, which, because you're pretty awesome. Let me tell you. Okay. Anyway.
My best.
Okay. So now, after that, there's the actual fight against the Master, which Buffy at first pretty much gets her ass handed to her. I mean, it's and of course the Master is using his whole hypnosis thing to kind of draw her in, and that's how he gets her. But it's pretty interesting to see like the prophecy does come true, even though she puts up a good fight.
Right.
But she loses.
Right.
And at that point, we don't know this, but at that point, it's the rule is that she dies and she gets drowned. And so the next Slayer is already called. Right. As per the rules of the game, I suppose. But we don't see that until later on in season 2. But anyway, so Buffy just, pretty much dies. The Master breaks his barrier and actually is able to ascend to Sunnydale and take over the Hellmouth. And Angel and Xander, thankfully, are there to get to Buffy and to kind of resuscitate her. But the interesting thing is that it's Xander who has to save Buffy's life, because Angel does not require breath to live. He doesn't breathe air to survive because he's a vampire.
Right.
Which I think is a really interesting thing. And I think they kind of drop this as the series goes on, or it's something that they don't really... Yeah, because I think, like Angel in his own show, when he gets buried under sea, is kind of in like a coffin. So I guess that, he would need air to survive or something. I don't know if that's the implication there, or if it's just that, they just put him in a coffin just to encase him there so that he wouldn't get out. But it seems like something that's not really... They kind of stepped away from that because it was like, well, the actor has to breathe.
That's true.
So, but it's an interesting thing, because Angel, for all his love of Buffy, he can't save her.
Right.
And Xander's the one who has to do it.
He doesn't even... He's kind of panicked. Like, he's almost giving up too. He isn't even
almost
the one
giving
that
up because
comes
he's
up
like,
with the idea to give her CPR, and Xander's the one that does. He's the one that realizes it. So definitely all him.
Yeah. Like Angel's just like, man, I don't think he even trusts that Xander will do it.
No.
Because he's the one who's asking, or he's the one that's there with him. Okay, so then they resuscitate Buffy, and one of the things that I notice is that she comes back powered up. Like she's already like strong, but she comes back even stronger. Yeah. And they don't really explain that, apart from the fact that, she's dead, she got better, and she's ready to just go back there and just kill the Master. Because when the first time that they fought, he's able to use this hypnosis on her, and then the second time that they fight, doesn't really happen.
No, it doesn't work on her.
She just withstands it completely. Which leads us to one of the greatest burns ever, in my opinion. You have fruit punch mouth.
She does it so adorably too.
I know. I love it. I love it because she's just staring death in the face, and she's just like, she just says it. It's great. It's amazing. Yeah. Um, and then of course we get the other iconic line, which is, "I may be dead, but I'm still pretty." That is perfect.
Yeah.
Utterly perfect.
Yeah.
So
cute.
So anyway, as her friends are battling with this giant Cthulhu squid demon in the library, which looks a little janky nowadays.
Yeah,
If you look at that thing, it's it's the sock puppet demon with like an eye or something. Like, it's pretty funny to see that, but they did what they could back in 1997. So they end up fighting with that, and then it kind of, in the midst of the battle, there's like a bookcase that falls over, and the shelves, I guess, kind of collapse, and there's like a big giant wooden thing that looks like a big giant steak, conveniently placed right under the glass where she's gonna throw the master through. And let me tell you, she just like she picks him up and throws him through the glass. So she's like hyper strong. And he hits that wood shelf and he just disintegrates. And the thing of it is that his disintegration is very different from the other vampires who get dusted. Because he actually, like, his outer shell disintegrates into dust, but his skeleton is left. And I think that was an interesting thing, because that comes into play in season 2. Which is not something that I would have expected, because most vampires, when they dust, it's their entire being is just gone.
Right. They're done.
Yep, they're done. So anyway, that was interesting. So now we move on to season 2, which is the premiere episode, which is When She Was Bad. In my opinion, a very underrated episode of the show, and one that I think prefigures and also, like, it foreshadows a lot that's going to happen within the show itself, even years down the line. Because it's all about, basically, it's about Buffy living through the traumatic experience of dying. And I think that in season 6, it kind of returns, like that whole theme returns, but even in a more expanded way.
Right, because she's been gone for longer.
Yeah, and they had the Buffy bot taking over for her. Gosh. Anyway, so When She Was Bad, so she basically takes the summer break off, stays away from slaying, goes with her dad, who kind of just disappeared off the show, and basically returns in the midst of Xander and Willow almost having a romantic moment, which is interesting. And of course, she slays a vampire. Yeah, what did you think of that opening where, like, Xander and Willow kind of almost sort of have a thing happen?
I mean, I feel like it's one of those things that it was always gonna happen, but it's weird how they approach it right there, where it almost does, and then, oh no, we're gonna just interrupt it and ruin it, and then it's not gonna happen for a little while in the most inconvenient moments when it's messing with their lives in a much worse way.
That's the way that they do it.
Yeah.
Darn you, writers! Darn you, Joss Whedon! So yeah, I thought that was cute, though. I thought it was like, man, Willow with the ice cream on her nose. I am not averse to Willow with ice cream on her nose.
She's adorable.
Oh my goodness. I would have been like, how many licks does it take to get to the center of that?
I think just one. It was just a little bit of ice cream.
Okay, anyway. So we have that. And then so I want to talk about, too, the credits, because this opening credits thing, okay, I'm gonna give, like, I think, an unpopular opinion here, which is that the season 1 and 2 version of the credits of the theme song is my favorite.
Oh, I agree.
like I think it rocks harder.
It does. It's a little more raw, right? Like,
It's more like garage, you know? It's like these dudes in like their garage and just recording a song.
which is
And
it is a little bit more appealing. It has, like you said, it rocks harder. It's got a little bit more of a badassness to it.
it's a little more punk.
Yeah, it is.
Like, you know,
Which
like
I will
that's what
always
it
support.
should be. Exactly. I know you like the punk.
I
I
do.
know you like that. So, yeah, I think it just rocks harder. I think like the later version is also really good as well, and I like the, you know, the ending like bell that they add to it
Hmm.
in season 3 onward. But I just feel like season 1 and 2, like that version of it is just so much more like, you know,
Get you ready for the episode.
yeah, like there's that moment in like, you know, they do like the first stanza and then they move on to the second one and I'm like totally jamming with it
Hmm.
because like the drum comes in heavier and I'm just like, dude, that's awesome.
Every time, yeah.
Anyway, I like to think that Seth Green would agree with me somewhere
I'm sure he would.
because, you know, because he's Oz and
Hmm.
I figured that he would.
Hmm.
Anyway, so we got the credits down, and then we shift scenes to Sunnydale High, and this is where Giles is receiving a pep talk from Principal Snyder, who I think is absolutely fantastic. I know that a lot of people hate him. I mean, I hate Snyder as a character, except in Band Candy,
Yes.
but I love the actor. I think Armin Shimmerman is so good.
Oh, for sure. He does an amazing
Like,
job of making you hate the character, which is,
oh yeah.
yeah.
And he just embodies that character so well. Like he's so perfect. So perfectly cast. And I love his little thing that he does whenever he's like, you know, like you can tell he just gets off on expelling people.
Hmm.
He's just like, smells like an expulsion. I just love it.
Yeah,
I
it's
love it.
perfect.
And I loved his Colonel Kurtz in Xander's Dream, the Apocalypse Now thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing. Anyway, we'll get to that episode eventually. Um, so you know he's talking about how there has to be someone to like to watch over the kids because all they want to do is just, you know, make googly eyes at each other and just mate with each other, and every time a pretty girl walks by, a guy just turns into a yammering idiot. And then you see Jenny Calendar walk by, Jenny Calendar, the computer teacher,
Hmm.
who's played by the lovely, I'm guessing her name is Rabia Lamort.
Hmm.
And I think that first of all, she's gorgeous. And secondly, she just walks by Giles and Giles turns into a yammering idiot.
It's so perfectly placed.
It's
Like,
so
no, this
perfect.
does not change after high school.
No, it does not. No, it does not. I think that it always happens and it always will happen as long as we are human beings and
Right.
don't turn into
You
robots.
have a pulse.
But yeah, it's pretty amazing. And Jenny Calendar then talks about like how she went to Burning Man and
Mhm.
there was the naked mud wrestling and the raves and everything. And she goes like, which you would have hated with a fiery passion. And then Giles is like, did you say naked? Giles is so amazing.
Oh, see, I've realized that I didn't know this when originally watching it, but he's my favorite character. Hands down, he's my favorite out of all of them, which is
He's
surprising
so
because you know I
awesome.
love Spike and I love Buffy, but it's
Mhm.
Giles. You can't beat Giles. His insults are so beautiful.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They really are. I
Oh,
love that where's that one line that he had? There's that one line that he had where he's like, I'm so British that I'm still struggling with almost calling you guys bloody colonials or something, you know, which is just so friggin' amazing.
I always remember this one line to Wes where he says, "Oh, what he says, you have the emotional maturity of a blueberry scone, so have at it,
Oh
Logan."
yes. Oh
Oh,
my god.
it's beautiful.
His put downs of Wesley were just the best.
Hmm. Yep.
Constant, like they finally made Giles look cool by bringing in Wesley. That was so funny. Um okay, so anyway, so Buffy comes back from her summer vacation and she's actually distant from her friends and from Giles. So like there's, you know, like Giles says, let's continue your training, and she's like, she's ready to go. And she goes in there and there's just this huge training sequence where I don't know if SMG did that or if that's her stunt double or if both of them, but they did pretty damn amazing work there.
It's impressive.
Yeah, like I would not mess with them in
No.
an alleyway. No. But she kind of overdoes it, and she kind of is like in panic mode, and you can tell because she stops and then she goes like, I'm ready for whatever they throw at me, and I'm just ready. And she's just like, you can tell something's wrong.
Mm-hmm. She's still
And then
got some fear going on. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And then there's the dream sequence, the nightmare, where Willow and Xander just sit there eating snacks while Giles says, I've killed you once. It shouldn't be too hard to do it again. And attacks her and begins choking her. And then she grabs his hair and pulls off like a mask off his face and reveals that he's the master. So obviously, she's still coming to terms with what happened between her and the master. And then I think one of my favorite scenes that she has is she wakes up and there's Angel. Angel, who is obviously another person who she kind of blames for what happened to her. I think in some way.
Yeah, she's definitely angry.
And she makes she makes a couple of verbal jabs at him. I love her snark, I have to say.
Yes.
Like, even though she's evil in this episode, or even though she's not herself, I wouldn't call her evil, actually.
No, she's just...
I would just say that she's traumatized.
Yeah, definitely.
And she's not feeling herself, but like herself, not feeling herself. But I love her snark, because I have days where I'm just like, nobody bother me. I just want to sit here and just be like, yeah, you woke me up from a really good nightmare, okay? Like, just shove off, bro.
Yeah. You can see it's hurting him too, because he's like,
yeah, and you can see that he's just like, have I done something to make you angry? Yeah. Like, he's completely in like, little puppy mode, which is pretty hilarious. Yeah. Seeing Angel on the back foot like that.
Definitely.
So, she finds out that the Anointed and Absalom, who is apparently this vampire servant guy, are trying to dig up the master's bones after they had buried them in an attempt to resurrect him. But Buffy's at this point not too concerned about it, so she goes to join her friends at the Bronze, which is the Sunnydale, I'm guessing, non-alcoholic nightclub, because there's a lot of high school age kids there. And okay, there's this really awkward exchange before they go to the Bronze where they talk about this apparently hot college band that's called Chibo Mato. And this is something that stuck out to me like a sore thumb in this episode, because all of a sudden they're walking down the halls at school and they're like, let's go to the Bronze. And they're like, oh, Chibo Mato's playing. And they're like, Chibo Mato? Chibo Mato's at the Bronze? We love Chibo Mato. And I'm just like, okay, who's Chibo Mato?
No idea.
Like, I don't know if that was like one of Joss's friends from like college, or like somebody's friend from college, or somebody's like kid from the staff.
They're pretty good though.
But they're pretty good. I mean, I actually like them, but the thing is that was just so weird because it's so out of place. They never did that with any other, group that was on the show. And it was just like, it's like Chibo Mato, Chibo Mato.
They say it like 4 times.
Yeah. I'm just like, wow, man, like what's going on with this Chibo Mato thing? Okay. Anyway, they did sing that song when Buffy comes into the Bronze, and it's like, it's pretty damn hot. So I will say that. But anyway, they're an interesting band. I'd probably listen to them now. They're probably broken up by now.
Yes, we are ancient. That was a very long time ago.
Look up Chibo Mato, and it's like, well, sadly, they broke up, and everybody's dead from drug overdoses.
Oh no, we went dark with this.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that. Anyway, guys, I hope you're alive. Please stay alive. Don't get into the heroin. Okay. So, anyway, so Buffy meets Angel. First. And first of all, let's talk about that dress she wears.
Oh, I know. She
my God.
Quite the wardrobe throughout the whole show, but that's definitely a killer.
I remember how they I remember like in the behind the scenes stuff how like the costume designer would always say that Sarah Michelle Gellar was kind of forward, she was like fashion forward, so she was pretty good at that.
Mm.
But like, yeah. So Buffy's working the hair, she's working the dress, she's got it pretty much down. She goes to see Angel. And Angel, who's just like sitting there going like, have I done something to make you mad? Because I'm getting a mad vibe. And she's just like,
Very cold.
she's just
She
super
basically
cold, super
tells them like,
snarky.
listen, not everything's about you, okay? Like,
Yeah, she's
ouch.
like, would you please get over yourself? And I'm just like, ooh,
Very
I like
sharp.
this Buffy. I like her. Why do I like her? I don't know. Anyway, that's probably a failing on my part.
Some sort of issues that you need to
I probably have some issues here.
Oh, don't we all?
It's probably the wanting the thing that you can't have.
True.
Anyway, so she's like, no, of course he hasn't made her angry, which is code for damn right I'm pissed at you and your entire extended vamp family. Thanks. So her insult game is just on fire in this episode, which I have to say, like she does it to Cordelia.
Oh yeah.
Cordelia is the worst, and Buffy just burns her.
Mm-hmm. Which is usually pretty hard to do. Like,
which is pretty hard to do to the point where Cordelia's like sore about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she basically, so then when she's done with Angel and punishing him, she goes to Xander,
which is even more punishing of Angel.
Which is even
a little
more
bit. Yeah.
And Xander, knowing how he feels about her, she just completely like just tells him, let's go dance, and up close slow dance, little freaky deaky.
Yeah.
And she's all up in his grill, and he's just like,
he's just standing there like, what's happening? Like,
I don't think he's even dancing.
No, he really isn't. He just like has his hands on her hips, and he's just like standing there like, okay, so this is happening. Like,
yeah. He's like, I've wanted this for so long.
But it seems, I don't think he's not dumb enough to be unaware of what's happening. So, but he's just like, I'll go along with it. Okay.
I don't know, honestly, because when it's like, if it were done to me, I'd pretty much just, my brain would just shut down. And I'd just be like, okay, I'm stupid now.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, and basically she also makes Willow and Angel jealous in one fell swoop. So I got to give her some props there.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she's terrible, but I wouldn't get mad because it's Buffy. I'd not get mad at Buffy.
It's hard to get mad at her. Yeah, we kind of just want to protect Buffy. Yeah.
Here comes all the comments from people in the group, in the Buffy group, are probably going to be like, like, shut up.
Your Buffy love is too strong. Listen,
Buffy love is too strong. Where's my faith? Where's faith? Give us some faith.
Unpopular.
I mean, I love Faith too. Don't get me wrong. Here's the thing. Eliza Dushku scared me.
She's amazing as an actress. I just don't.
She freaking scared me as Faith, because I thought, when I think of Faith, I think like she's like Faith, and like if I ever saw Eliza Dushku in an alleyway, I'd probably run away scared.
I think she's actually like very sweet.
But she's super nice. Yeah. No, I mean, I probably wouldn't now at this point, but wow, that girl scares me.
Yeah, she's an impressive actress for sure.
And now I'm like, she scares me, but she also intrigues me.
I'm intrigued by this fear.
I'm intrigued by this. Anyway, okay, so there's that line that she says to Xander too, where she just goes like, where Buffy just goes, Xander, did I ever thank you for saving my life? And he's like, no. And she's like, don't you wish I would?
And then just walks off.
And
what
just
was
like,
that? It's so bad.
It's a little tease, is what it is.
It's not very. I mean, Buffy,
I wouldn't be against it. I would have just been like, thanks for that. Anyway, okay. So that leads us to another great scene where, like, Willow and Xander and Giles are trying to figure this out. And so Willow says, well, she's obviously possessed. And Xander says, are we overlooking the fact that she may just be wildly physically attracted to me? And there's just dead silence. And then he's like, okay, she's possessed.
Poor Xander.
Poor Sander. But yeah, I mean, oh, for a second there, he got the little, he got a little ego boost.
Yeah.
So Giles is the one, as he normally is. He's the one to figure out that Buffy's been traumatized by this whole thing with the Master. And that leads us to the big fight where Absalom and the Anointed One have kidnapped Cordelia and Jenny Calendar. So, of course, they go and rescue them. The fight is kind of not the point of the episode. So really what the point of the episode is Buffy finally getting to exercise her inner demons here and kind of work through her trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And just destroy the Master's bones. I mean, maybe that's not like a perfect solution, but in terms of the show itself, it works.
Yeah. No, it definitely is more, I think, just a representation of her working through it, and realizing even herself that she's still dealing with these residual issues from it, and not properly dealing with them.
Probably not.
It just becomes obvious to everybody that she's struggling. So it's actually a good thing, because then it can help her and then help her work through it. And
then they can kind of work. Yeah, they can work on, getting her to feel better and be more of herself. So that's pretty much when she was bad. So do we have any final thoughts on that episode? Because I think personally it's one of the best episodes of Buffy. It's in my top 10.
Yeah, it's definitely a good episode. And I think it deals with a lot of shows will like just kind of skate by stuff like that. And, okay, she died, she came back, she's fine. Don't worry about it. She's fine. Like, no, that's not reality. It wouldn't be that easy. And that's what's kind of amazing about the whole show, is that they continuously like bring that stuff up. And it's like, no, she's struggling, and here it is. So it definitely makes it a really important episode. I agree.
Yeah, that's something that I really like about Buffy, and something that I really wish a lot of shows would do, because I feel like a lot of shows just kind of skate by on that.
Definitely.
And they don't really, like you said, they don't follow up on it. For instance, and I don't know if my parents are going to like me saying this, but they were watching 24 and 24 season 2, and Jack Bauer dies while he's being tortured, and then he comes back, and it's like, this guy gets run over by a car. He gets like drug addiction. He gets like, everything that could be done to this guy is done to this guy. And well, I mean, I understand it's supposed to be one day of his life, so you can't really have a long lasting sort of, consequence. But they just, he gets run over by a car after dying in like torture and like coming back real quick because they resuscitate him. I mean, the guy's like a machine. He doesn't ever quit.
Right.
And I don't know, to me, I like to see my heroes sort of go through things and come out of them, and kind of, I understand that's a really different show, but I don't know. To me, it cheapens it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, okay, let's talk about Lie to Me, which is episode 7 of season 2. And again, it's kind of an underrated episode, I feel like. It's one where, is his name Jason Bear?
Yes.
The guy from Roswell.
Yes.
Who's in this. Yeah. Roswell, which is a show that you tried to get me to watch,
it's a horrible show. I don't know why I like it. It's one of those guilty pleasure, just awful shows.
It's not terrible.
It's really great, though.
Oh gosh, it's very, like you could tell that was like acting class.
Yeah.
Because I really like Jason Bear in this episode. Like, I think he does a really good job here.
I think he's even good in Roswell.
I think he's pretty good.
A part of it's the script too. You can only do so much with a script that's super cheesy. But I occasionally like my cheese. So.
Oh, so do I. I mean, this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is not like. I don't know, King Arthur or something. Like, we're not, this is, it is what it is. It's Buffy. So anyway, Jason Bear from Roswell comes in, and he plays Buffy's old friend Ford, Billy Fordham, who she's known since grade school and apparently had a crush on in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Which leads to this wonderfully awkward exchange where she sits there and she tells him that she was so crushed by his disinterest that she listened to the Divinal song "I Touch Myself." because she just, was in her room and just couldn't figure out what to do with herself after that. So that's pretty funny.
She's like,
Um,
I didn't know what it meant.
yeah, she's like, I didn't know what that meant. And then Willow, like, lines of dialogue later, Willow's like, that's what that song's about.
Oh my god, it's so cute though.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Yeah. I mean, even I knew what that song was about. Come on, guys. And I am not the most, like relatively knowledgeable person of these things, but at that, especially at that age. But yeah. So anyway, of course, we have another great Xander line, which is, after he meets Ford and he gets super jealous of him, as Xander is wont to do.
Mm-hmm.
He says, he just kind of mimics Buffy, and he goes like, "This is Ford, my bestest friend of all my friends." And then he says, "Geez, doesn't she know any fat guys? And let me tell you, Xander, you wound me. You cut me deep, Shrek."
Such a harsh line, and it's so funny how, like, when you watch shows that are older, they would never say something like that nowadays. They get so much crap for it. Like, that's
I
very
feeling
rude.
that
Like, what?
they probably would say that now, though. I mean, like, I think that I don't know.
It would make Xander look like
So
an
mean,
ass.
Xander. You're so mean.
Yeah.
Cut me deep, Xander. You cut me real deep. Anyway. So, as the episode progresses, we discover that Ford has a secret of his own. So, not only does he know that Buffy is the Slayer, which he reveals to her rather nonchalantly,
Mm-hmm.
he also runs a kind of like a vampire groupie industrial nightclub where a bunch of really goth emo kids like try to emulate vampires in terms of what they wear, and they basically glower at each other all night and like quote or lip sync to Jack Palance's Dracula from 1974. That was such a weird thing too. When I first saw this episode, like the moment that Jason Behr turns to the camera and he's like lip syncing to Jack Palance's like Dracula, that line that he has where he says, "You seek to come against me with an army" or something. It was just so funny.
Yeah.
Because I looked at him the first time I saw that episode, and I looked at him and his mouth was moving, and I was just like, wait a minute, did his voice just change? Seriously, I thought that was so strange. Anyway, so Ford and his flunkies basically call they call the vampires the lonely ones, and they who walk with the night, which is so gothy and so emo sounding that I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
It's pretty bad.
But on the other hand, we do get introduced to Julia Lee, who's an actress who plays Chanterelle in this, whose name is taken after a mushroom, as we find out. And she actually has an arc through both Buffy and Angel series as well, because she actually turns into this character called Anne, and she actually is like a philanthropist and helps people, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like how they do that in the show occasionally. You get to see a character come back. It's not just like a toss away, and you see a little more to them.
Yeah, I thought that she's actually pretty good. I like Julia Lee.
Yeah.
I think she's pretty good. So, and then we find out that there's a reason why Ford has kind of a vamp wish, which is that he basically has cancer.
Yeah.
And he has tumors in his brain, and basically is just like, he's dying.
The only solution he sees is to become a vampire.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. Like, he's still stupid. Don't get me wrong.
For sure. He's still the bad guy. You can't just excuse killing a bunch of people.
Yeah. Like, obviously the guy's insane, but he lost it, and he was scared, and even Buffy says that he was just afraid of it. And even though he set the trap to have Spike and Drusilla go and kill everybody, and Buffy only stopped it by threatening Drusilla, and then that got Spike to calm down, and he basically gets locked in the club, which is pretty hilarious. So what happened was that there's these trick doors that only open from the outside, and so Spike and everybody gets stuck in the club with the trick doors, and the doors close, and so Spike is suddenly locked in, and he goes, "Where's the knob?" Which I think is pretty hilarious. And of course, James Marsters, let's talk about Spike and Drusilla, actually, because we haven't really
Oh,
mentioned them.
I'll always talk about Spike and
Of course.
Drusilla.
And Drusilla.
I mean, he's by far my favorite.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I think, wasn't he originally supposed to just kind of be a small character that got killed off, but then people loved him so much that
He was supposed to be killed off. And as a matter of fact, like in the episode after this one, or maybe it's a couple episodes after this one, he was supposed to die. And I guess Drusilla and Angelus were supposed to be the big bad guys, but as it turned out, everybody just loved him, and he does really look like Billy Idol.
Oh yeah. But then they
totally,
make a joke about that, right? Like Billy Idol took his look from him, not the other way around.
Yeah, exactly, which is pretty funny. Yeah. I love James Marsters. I think he's awesome.
Oh, he's my first real crush, and I will never die. He's perfect.
But it's funny though, because are you more of a Buffy Angel fan or more of a Buffy Spike fan?
And it is funny because I am a big Buffy Angel fan. That's who I think her soulmate is. I will always feel that way. But personally, I prefer Spike. It just doesn't. I just don't prefer them together. They don't make sense.
Yeah.
They're really toxic together. Like,
true.
They destroyed a house. All right.
They brought the house down. They brought it down. I think that's an interesting thing to think about, because like Angel and Buffy to me are just the star-crossed lovers, the Romeo and Juliet, so to speak. Definitely. Like they are absolutely soulmates. But here's the drawback. If they did get together and they do the deed, then Angelus comes back.
That's what I think makes it even more that whole star-crossed lovers thing. It's so angsty and heartbreaking. It's pretty good idea though.
We have to talk about we have to talk about the Zeppo eventually, because that episode that focuses on Xander, when they have the scene with Buffy and Angel and how over dramatic it is, that's so great. I love it so much.
Great.
But yeah, I mean, like Buffy and Angel to me, they're kind of forever.
Even Sarah Michelle Gellar feels that way.
I think so. I think she's absolutely right about that.
She's a big fan.
Yeah, she's a big Bangle fan.
Yeah.
Is it Bangle or Bangel?
I guess.
Bangle and Bangle? I don't know. I've always said Bangle. I've always said Bangle to me. It's always sounded funnier. Anyway, but I mean, you look at Buffy and Spike. Now, there's absolutely a drawback to that as well, which is that Spike, in season 6, tried to rape Buffy.
I hate that episode. I wish it had.
I hate that episode too.
It's like one of the only episodes in the show that I feel like was just a big F you to everybody that did support them together. And like I said, I never did. So even to me, it felt a little, it felt unnecessary. It was just cringy and awful. And
yeah.
I don't know.
And I think even James Marsters has said that he never wants to do a scene like that ever again.
Yeah, I feel so bad that he even had to. Like, it seemed to really bother him. Like
they played the heck out of it. I mean, it was well performed. It was well acted.
Yeah.
And I think that I sort of understand what they were doing with it, which was that they were trying to show like Spike had reached his lowest point and Buffy had reached her lowest point, and it was just like,
This is one instance where I don't defend Buffy that much, and not that scene. Let's make that clear. That was absolutely like, I just don't think it should have happened. But as far as their relationship, I don't defend her a whole lot, because I feel like she did use and abuse him a lot and mess with his head, and that's not ever fair to do to somebody. But she is going through a lot, so it's not entirely.
Neither of them were in their right minds, so to speak.
Right, true.
And I think that she was eventually coming out of it, and then Spike was sort of down that rabbit hole of like, he was just, he was rock bottom at that point.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't mean The Rock coming out there and rock bottoming him. Now that would have been hilarious. Anyway, so I think that I think that Buffy and Spike, we've kind of gone off on a tangent here, but that's okay. But I think that Buffy and Spike are kind of interesting to me in that there is that drawback of like what he did in Seeing Red. And there's also the fact that after that, he fought for his soul,
Yeah.
which is somewhat interesting
Yeah, it's true.
because Angel was cursed with his soul and Spike fought for his soul. And I always found that kind of interesting. And the reason why he did it was basically for Buffy.
Right.
Even though that's a slippery slope. That's a weird issue because you could say that they're trying to say that he's good even though he tried to rape her and
Or
that's
maybe like,
obviously
I
not
mean, it could
not
just be that
good.
like part of it is, he sees what's bad in him that comes from not having his soul and not.
Yeah.
They did something so weird with Spike, which they didn't do with other vampires, and kind of like seem to break rules, because they talk about it even in Lie to Me, where Buffy says that to Ford, where she's saying, I'm going to misquote it, but she's basically saying it's not you when you become a vampire. What is it? A demon takes over your body and it walks and talks and looks like you and has all your memories, but it's not you,
Yeah,
it's
but
the
it's not
demon.
you.
So that's
Yeah.
why I always separated what Angelus does versus Angel, because they're two different beings. Angelus is the demon, and Angel
Mhm.
is Angel, who he was before, before he got turned. That's kind of how I see it. It's the absence of your soul and then being replaced with the demon that makes them evil. And then it felt so weird with Spike. It felt like they broke that.
Yeah, because he was pretty much who he was.
He still
He was
has
like a
humanity in him. Yeah, it's very weird.
super romantic poetic guy
Mhm.
who's like, yeah.
It's like the
And I
soul
love the
almost
fact
just
that
brings back his remorse for it. Is it like that's almost?
so do you think that his name Spike that he kind of took on is from the fact that he would kill you with a spike, or do you think it's from the fact that they would rather have a railroad spike driven through their head than listen to his poetry? Because I think it's the latter, and he just took that and ran with it.
I never really thought about it that way because my bias for him. I even like his crappy poetry. I think it's
I
beautiful.
like his crappy poetry too. Don't get me wrong; it's great. He's
He
amazing. I
uses the
mean, I
word
love it.
effulgent.
Effulgent, and they didn't know what that meant, and I'm like, dude, that's what it means. Come on,
What's wrong with you people? It's beautiful.
what's wrong with you people? Come on, man. It's a
I
little cheesy, but that's okay.
I mean, poetry is generally cheesy, but it,
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah.
like I said, I always in my head envisioned it as it was the whole railroad spike thing. But you're probably right. He has a
Well, it
tendency to
just
take
struck me that
things
they
and
would
try to make
say
himself
that.
look, a little bad when he really is inside. He's the cheesy poet. So
Yeah, a lot of it is him just kind of putting up this front of like he's so punk rock and
Mhm.
everything, and he's just so like he's a bad boy.
Yeah.
But Spike is really he's got a soft, chewy center.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I do love about him too, that James Marsters really does, is that if you watch him, whenever he walks, he never walks around things. He always walks over things.
Yes.
Like if there's a chair or
Perfect.
something in like Angel season 5 and like The Office and stuff, when he walks to the chair, he walks over the chair and then sits in it. He literally
Yes.
climbs it and then sits in it. It's just
Yes.
I love that Spike is that way. That just says so much to me, like the body language and everything.
It
It's
does though.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really makes the character.
So here we are doing apparently we're big fans of Buffy and Spike.
Yeah. Back on
But this
track.
is but this is of course season 2 Spike. So season 2 Spike is is a different animal entirely. But the one thing that is pretty funny in season 2 is that in the later episodes when he meets Joyce
Mhm.
and she says to him, "Have we met before?" And he says, "Oh yeah, you bashed my head in with an axe once." And he's like, "Stay the hell away from my daughter," and that was pretty funny. I was like, "Yeah, it's perfect." And then later on, you just see that like Spike actually likes Joyce, and he's
Oh
like, "You
yeah.
always treat me like a person."
Yeah, I love the affection he has for her.
Yeah, he actually loves Joyce, which is amazing.
That's sweet.
Okay, now let's talk about Drusilla.
Okay.
Drusilla, my love.
I've heard a lot of people say that they think that she's creepy and don't like her. And when I hear that,
What?
really, I know. I think she's an incredible character, another character with like many layers and a lot of depth, and I adore her.
I love Drusilla. Are
She's
you kidding me? When
crazy, but she's amazing.
she and Spike come on the scene and they have that moment where they just kind of mug for the camera, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm in love.
Yes.
What is it? What is it about her that's so interesting? Like, I don't know. Is it Juliet Landau? Is it just the way
She's
that she played it?
definitely a big part of it, the way she plays the character.
She's
It's
just
the
amazing. I don't
crazy
know.
element, but then also what she's got powers. Like they make it very clear
Yeah,
she's got some sort of, I don't know, like psychic abilities that
she
she
has like
had
psychic abilities, and she has
before.
like, yeah,
Hmm. And then she's got the
yeah,
hypnosis and yeah.
and she's got those arms. My god, jeez. Do you see her arms in that one episode? I'm just
Yeah.
like, I want triceps like that. Seriously.
Don't we
Like,
all?
what are you even doing, Juliet Landau? My god.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, she's hot. I
She's
find Drusilla
beautiful.
just incredibly
She
attractive, and I don't know
is. It's
why.
well, it's the little bit of crazy, I'm telling you. It's
Maybe it's that. Maybe it's
yeah,
that.
it's there's a little she's a little off, but then the way she moves too, she has a very like
Yeah,
fluid way of like moving about all the time
yeah.
that's
She
definitely
does do that.
yeah, it
She's
draws you
amazing at
in.
that.
Hmm.
Um. Oh, now I'm thinking about it. Okay, let's
She
stop.
almost feels like more the big bad in that season than anybody else. I know it's Angelus and
She
all this,
does.
and I know Spike's involved in it, but Spike kind of just follows her every whim. It
Yeah.
feels like she's more the one that's
So
the
what you're saying is
instigator.
Spike is whipped.
He is.
Pretty much is.
No, he really is. That's the way he is. Like always when he's in love, he's
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
He very much is like me. He falls hard.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's Drusilla and Spike.
Hmm.
Um, so at the end of Lie to Me, basically we have, Ford's plan fails. He gets bitten by Spike. And so does Chanterelle. Like, she gets actually attacked by Spike, but I think that Buffy actually saves her, so she
Hmm.
doesn't turn into a vamp or anything
Yeah.
and doesn't die. Um, but this episode, okay, the thing that makes the episode for me is that exchange between Buffy and Giles at the very end,
Hmm.
where she knows that Ford is going to come back and resurrect as a vampire, but she basically just stakes him because she knows that he's he's gone.
It's not him. Yeah.
And I love this thing. I'm going to read it just verbatim because it's just so amazing. Where Buffy just says, she says, "Nothing's ever simple anymore. I'm constantly trying to work it out: who to love or hate, who to trust. It's just like the more I know, the more confused I get." And Giles replies, "I believe that's called growing up." And she says, "I like to stop then, okay?" And she says that in such a childlike way. It's so cute.
Hmm.
And he says, "I know the feeling." And she says, "Does it ever get easy?" And he says, "What do you want me to say?" And then she says, "Lie to me." And he says, "Yes, it's terribly simple. The good guys are always stalwart and true. The bad guys are easily distinguished by their pointy horns or black hats. And we always defeat them and save the day. No one ever dies, and everybody lives happily ever after." And Buffy just says, "Liar." And as she says liar, the name that flashes on screen is Joss Whedon, which, given what we know now, may be more prophetic than we thought.
Oops.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Um, but also the fact that it's just that's pretty masterful because when we're telling these stories and no one dies, I mean that it is a lie basically. Might be a good lie, but it's still a lie.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most heart wrenching dialogue exchanges that I've ever seen, and ever heard. But I also think it's really good, really really good.
Yeah.
And then we come to the birthday episode for Buffy, which never goes well. And it's surprise. So I just want to let you kind of take the lead on this one because I know you have thoughts about it.
This one's hard for me. Like
Yeah,
this episode's always really, really gut wrenching for me
this is a hard one.
to
Yeah,
get through just because of the emotions that poor Buffy has to go through the whole thing, right? Like
yeah,
it's just rough. I,
I know,
I can't
I know.
imagine being in that kind of instance, Like just the whole thing, it starts out, what like they're dealing with, the hand shows up right in the box, and they realize that
Yeah,
Angel's got to go away, and that it's already upsetting because they're falling in love, and it's a little dramatic, right? It's not the end of the
it
world
is.
that he's got to go away for a little bit, but with them everything's a little scarier because everybody's trying to kill them all the time. So it's
It
like,
is.
how
It
did they
is.
know? And what doesn't he say that to her at one point? Like, you never know.
Yeah.
That's just reality. You never know. You can care
And
about
also
someone you never.
she
Hmm.
she kind of thinks that Buffy kind of thinks that Spike and Drusilla are goners. Like she doesn't realize that they're still alive
Oh yes,
at the beginning of the episode.
right. Yes, that part's pretty rough
And
too.
also this is early Oz and Willow, which is so awesome.
Oh, they're so sweet. I love them.
I love Oz and
I
Willow.
mean, I love Willow and Tara too. Don't get me wrong, but
Me too.
I
Me
love
too.
Willow and Oz definitely.
So yeah, I mean, it's we also get the introduction of Jenny Calendar and her sort of like not the introduction of her, but like her family and who she's a descendant of, and it turns out that she's a gypsy,
Mm-hmm.
and she's part of that lineage of the gypsies who basically cursed Angel with the soul.
They're intense people.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you think of that? Because they, the guy Vincent Schiavelli, who's like an awesome actor,
Definitely, yeah.
who was in Batman Returns, by the way. He was awesome in that. I love that guy. Anyway, so he basically shows up and and reveals her real name, which is Yana,
Mm-hmm.
not Jenny. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells her that, we are not doing this for justice. We are doing this for vengeance.
Which, right, and to me, like that in and of itself, you're not the good guys.
Yeah.
You might
Yeah.
act like you're doing the right thing, but you're not. What you're doing is the opposite of the right thing. You're a bad guy. You're a villain. I mean, that's how
Hmm.
I see them. I see them as just as much villains as the demons are when
I
all you
kind of
care
agree.
about
I mean,
is
it's
vengeance.
it's kind of the Punisher,
Mm-hmm.
it's like that same deal with like the Punisher, where the Punisher just kills a bunch of mafia guys, and it's like you're the same,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't think of yourself as the same.
Right, but the villain never really does. Right? They generally think
Yeah,
that what they're doing is right.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, that's more like comic book Punisher. I guess in the show Punisher, they were kind of a little bit different with that. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's more of a good guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and this is interesting too because I think it's one of Marty Noxon's first episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and she became showrunner in season 6 and 7, and she was like, she was one of Joss's right hands when it came to Buffy.
Yeah.
Um, so I find that interesting,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that this whole the whole deal of like Angel gives her the Clawder ring,
Oh.
and man, it's just yeah. This episode to me was just it was interesting, and it was also like you could tell that they're building up to something.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
And they are.
and they are
Hit you like a ton of bricks.
because Buffy and Angel, who have finally, after all these years, they finally, what's the word I'm looking for?
They love for each other, or
Yeah,
consummate their
I
love
guess
for each other.
consummate is it?
Okay.
That's what it is. Yeah, so
Yeah.
they finally consummate their relationship because
Yes.
after all this time and after all this drama,
Mhm.
they finally get together. And let me tell you, this is a masterstroke because this is giving the audience what they want and also taking it away in the most violent manner possible.
Oh God.
Which I have to admit, if I were Joss Whedon, I would have done like an evil laugh
Yeah. Oh,
somewhere
definitely. I'm sure he
because
was. I'm sure he was.
that was so evil. Anyway, so yeah, Angel gets a happy from Buffy here and loses his soul.
Right.
Because that's how it goes. If he gets one moment of pure happiness.
And that's why, like, I feel like people misunderstood that a little bit. Like, they take it a little bit too far and assume that it's just when Angel has sex. No, wait, no.
No,
That's
it's a moment
not
of
what
pure
it is.
happiness.
Yes, it's because he's so in love with her, and just that moment of being with her. It's he doesn't feel the guilt, the misery anymore. It takes it all away. He's so happy, and he's not allowed to be that kind of happy. Mm-hmm. And then bam, there goes his soul.
Because let me tell you, he could have had a happy from Darla,
right,
in
and
Angel,
the
series, and he does not.
Right.
So it's not just when he has sex. It's because he gets a happy.
One moment.
He gets a happy, and that's what it is. So anyway, I don't know why Google answered me there.
Google would like to weigh in on this discussion.
Would you like a happy, Keona? No, I wouldn't, Google. Thanks for offering. I appreciate that. Anyway, it's pretty interesting to see that, though, because yeah, I mean, at first, when I first saw the show, that's what I was thinking too, is that Angel just, he has sex and that's the happy.
Right, that's the curse.
But it's not that. It's that he really needs that moment of pure bliss.
Right.
Now, this leads me to something that I'm going to get into with Becoming, because I have sort of an issue with this Angel and Buffy thing that I'm gonna bring up to you and see what you say about it.
Okay.
But anyway, so in Innocence, which is part 2 of Surprise, which also has the Judge Demon, which I gotta say, I love the Judge Demon because he's just so clueless. And it's Brian Thompson, who played Shao Kahn, and who's done he was the alien bounty hunter in the X-Files and stuff like that. So Brian Thompson is one of those guys that I always enjoyed seeing on a show. But he plays the judge here, and he's just so funny to me because Spike, Spike gets Angelus to go up to him, and he's like, there, burn him because he's obviously got some human in him and stuff like that, and the judge is just like, he's clean, and he's like, there is no stink of humanity on him, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. Anyway,
I love when he looks at Spike and he's like, what does he say? You stink of humanity and
yes,
you have affection for each other and jealousy. And he goes, yeah, and what of it?
Spike is just Spike is amazing. That's why Spike he just says things. It's so great. His
dialogue's incredible.
Yeah,
especially in this season, in Becoming.
But I love that fact, though. It ties into what we were saying about Spike, which is that he kind of retained a little bit of humanity.
He did, definitely. Yeah, he still feels affection towards
He still feels affection towards Drusilla,
and then later on Buffy. Yeah,
he even has a thing for Buffy. I think when he first sees her, when he first sees her at the Bronze.
Everybody.
I mean, I would
feel like she's that character. She's that person that everybody just kind of falls
even
for.
Faith has a thing for her.
Right, yeah, it's hard not to. Yeah,
I think that may be my OTP. It might be Fuffy. It might just be Fuffy. I think it's Faith and Buffy, frankly.
Yeah.
I think I'm into that.
People that feel that way, definitely. I just dislike Faith so much that it's hard for me to go down that path. I love her and hate her at the same time, but yeah.
I love what she becomes.
Yeah.
But yeah, for a while there, I mean, I think when she's in Bad Girls and stuff, she's super cool. I love Faith in that episode, even though she's bad. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get to that. But yeah, so with Innocence, I think that what do you think that name, when they named the episode Innocence, what do you think that implies? The death of innocence?
Yeah, definitely. It's not just in the way that obviously she's lost her virginity to him and all that. It really isn't just about that. I think it's much more complex than that. It's the whole heartbreak and just everything she has to go through in that.
Oh, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that scene.
Ugh.
Because I mean, that scene is so brutal.
It is.
He does not let her off very easily. He just, he comes out, he comes up to her and after just booking it and not even talking to her for the whole day. I mean, I get what Joss is saying here, that this is metaphorical for the guy that, has sex with the girl and then just turns around and just leaves her cold.
It's the two different, people,
yeah.
Because when he's Angel, he's that sweet guy that, pretends, but then when he flips the switch and he's Yeah, it does have a little
Yeah,
metaphor in there.
there is a metaphor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, some people just turn, I guess.
Hmm.
And I mean, what he tells her though is so horrible.
He's so good at that. That's
He's
why
so bad.
Angelus, to me, as much as maybe he's not necessarily the strongest of all the villains you experience, like
Mm,
he's one of the scariest ones to me. I don't know what it is. Like I love Angel so much, and then when he's Angelus, he terrifies me. It's that mental, like the manipulation that he can pull, and just knowing exactly how
yeah.
to dig really deep. And what's the quote from the episode? Where is it from Becoming, or is it from this one where he says that to Spike?
You have to love her.
Yeah, to destroy this girl, you
To
have to
destroy
love
this
her.
girl, you have to love
Oh,
her.
and I feel that. Like, I feel it on a deep personal level. Like,
Ouch.
well,
Yeah.
it's true because she's so strong, and if
Yeah.
you're an
Yeah.
outside person or outside villain or whatever, she can withstand just
Hmm.
about anything and push through it. But
Hmm.
when people that she cares about are at risk, or they're the people that can hurt her.
It's
Kind
like
of
you open yourself up to somebody, and then that's it.
yeah,
Like I mean, I once told you about someone that I deeply, deeply loved, and I feel like when I'm that way, I feel like my heart is in their hands, and they
it
could just crush
definitely,
it.
absolutely. I think
They
that
could just destroy it,
yeah,
and that has happened to me, and that has been something where I'm still trying to get out of that.
right,
Actually, it's been
right.
years. You never really quite get out of it.
No, especially not your first one.
True, true.
Mhm.
Okay, we're getting a little too deep here.
Oh man.
Anyway, but no, I mean, okay, here's the thing. Like he just, when he tells her, he's like, "Oh, you
You
really
got
have
a
a lot
lot
to
to
learn
learn
about
about men.
men."
Oh, you really eviscerate her right there. Like,
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, and poor thing, she's like in tears, and she's like, "Was I not good?" And she's Buffy. She's like the strongest person on the show, and she's just reduced to she's like a child. She's like completely defenseless.
yep.
And then the way that she's just through tears, and she goes like, "I love you," and he's like, "Love you too." You know what and he's just saying like, "Fuck you." I mean, that's pretty much what he was saying.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, like this is not the Angel that we knew.
No.
And it's really not it, it's just devastating. Yeah.
It is.
But I got to say though, with Angelus, I think David Boreanaz, when he gets to play Angelus, I think he loves it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I mean, he's so good at it. It's
Yeah. It's kind of like in Smallville when Tom Welling got to play like evil Clark, like
hmm
when he's on Red Kryptonite or something. And he just gets to play it with like no responsibilities or anything like that. Like Tom Welling could just love that. You could tell because
hmm
he's so controlled and so like about self-denial and everything like that.
gotta be fun, especially when you're playing this character that's been like this kind of brooding,
Yeah, it's brooding and it's very quiet and it's
guilt-filled
very like
character, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now I get to have a little fun. Like,
yeah. Like Angelus, whenever he showed up, I would always kind of love it because you just get to see Boreanaz just go nuts.
yeah.
And he has a lot of fun with it. And he gets super sarcastic, and I love it.
hmm
I love my snarky characters, even when they're bad, apparently.
For sure.
Um, all right, so that's Surprise and Innocence, and I think that two of the best episodes of the show, top 10 episodes. Gosh, oh,
Definitely. Just always very
brutal.
hard to get through. Yeah, they're brutal.
They're brutal,
Yep.
and especially the way that he treats her afterwards. It's terrible.
Thankfully, they don't
Wow.
go too long before she realizes that it's not him. But then again, that's then what the realization that the person she loves is gone. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so, it wasn't Angel that was hurting me like that because he does love her. But then it's like,
yeah.
oh, yeah, but now I've lost him. He's gone. It's pretty rough.
I love the way that Boreanaz played that too because all of a sudden you can just see he's like a puppy dog.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I actually kind of like Angelus a little bit more. I don't know why. Anyway, maybe because he actually does things, and Angel's a
Yeah.
little bit more like until he gets his own show, then he gets more proactive. But
Oh, definitely. Yeah. When he's
but
on.
yeah, I did love season 2 of Angel where he just went all Batman.
Yes.
Yeah, that was cool. Good season. It's like he wasn't Angelus, but he was Angelus.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was more like Angelus, but he
Yeah.
wasn't. Okay,
Side of him still in there a little.
so speaking of Buffy finally figuring out that this is not Angel, that she has to kill Angelus and she has to really make it happen. Let's talk about Passion.
Love that episode though. The quote
Passion,
just
oh yeah. Passion, it lies in all of us, sleeping, waiting. Though unwanted, it will stir, open its jaws, and howl. It speaks to us, guides us. Passion rules us all, and we obey. What other choice do we have? It hurts sometimes more than we can bear. If we could live without passion, maybe we'd know some kind of peace. But we would be hollow, empty rooms, shuttered and dank. Without passion, we'd be truly dead. I mean, that's creepy.
It's amazing though. I think it's incredibly accurate.
It is. It is.
Mm-hmm.
And they had that great song playing under it too, and,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Boreanaz just read that so perfectly. It was great. So yeah. What makes this episode memorable besides David Boreanaz's amazing voiceover is the fact that Jenny Calendar dies.
Yep. For reals.
And she dies after trying to reconcile with Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to re-ensoul Angel, meaning put his soul back in and recurse him, I guess you could say. And she goes to that magic shop, which was pretty funny too. I love that magic shop guy where she goes in and he's like, welcome, what would you like?
Putting on the accent.
And then he's like, yeah, and then he's like, oh, you're in the business. Okay, sorry, that's for the tourists. I just love that guy.
Yeah,
he was amazing.
Great. Yeah.
And then of course, and she gets the Orb of Thessala, and you're thinking, okay, maybe there's hope. Yeah, I could imagine people watching this because I never watched this show when it was first airing, but I could imagine people watching this show and just being like, "There's hope for us, yay!"
Yep.
And then, of course, how Angel gets into the school, which, by the way, there's so many people that get into the school that probably shouldn't get into the school.
Right.
But anyway, so you have Angelus getting in, and he just says that it's because they invite all the knowledge seekers in, which is pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then he gets the Orb of Thessala and just throws it up against the wall and breaks it, and he's like, they're so breakable. And of course, we have the computer that lights on fire, which I don't know if that's how it really works, but anyway.
I know. That's a little... I've never really tried to do that, so...
I don't know that you can just throw it to the ground and it'll just suddenly burst into flames.
Right.
Here, let's try it now. No, I'm kidding. With my PC over here, my PC's like, no, let me live. So, Jenny Calendar, basically, he corners her, he has a little hunt, and then he just grabs her and breaks her neck. She's not turned, she's not maimed, she's not just wounded. He just cold-bloodedly kills her.
I remember hoping through that scene because they definitely drag it out with her, and it's like, is she gonna get away? She's gonna get away. She can't die.
Yeah,
she has to get away.
I could imagine people watching this for the first time when it was first airing and just being like, she's obviously gonna make it through this because But then you remember that ending scene of Lie to Be.
Yeah, it doesn't always.
And it's like, yeah. Joss Whedon was foreshadowing once again. Anyway, because he's the liar. He even says it. Anyway. So, then what's even worse is the fact that it's over so quickly and there's not much fanfare because no one's there going like, we'll save you, Jenny. It's none of that. And you just discover that it's a mind game by Angelus.
Yep.
And he does it all to terrorize Giles and to terrorize Buffy and to basically make them crumple.
That's what makes him scary to me.
That's what makes him scary.
Knows how to play with their minds and make them weak emotionally.
Yeah.
Even
and there's that whole
people like that.
I know. Yeah, he's basically like a serial killer.
Yeah, essentially he is. Yeah.
And he does that thing where he even like, he invites Giles. He knows that Giles was waiting to see her in his home, and so he does that whole thing where he turns on, the music and the rose petals and everything, and then leaves her body there in the bed, and just like
So it's like this
it's
moment of joy for Giles, and he's all excited
yeah,
to reconcile with her, and like she, like it's this whole romantic thing, and then
yeah,
oh no, wait, she's dead.
yeah. And not only is she dead, but her eyes are open, and
Ugh,
just everything is just so ugh,
yeah, it's heartbreaking.
it's heartbreaking. And then of course, and Anthony Stewart Head plays that perfectly.
Oh yeah.
He's so good. He's the elder statesman. He's just amazing. And so not only does that happen to Giles, but he then just goes completely nuts. Like he goes numb at first when the cops come and question him.
Hmm.
And I love that scene where he's just like, it's just not affecting him.
It's just somewhere
And
else.
then he grabs his weapons, and then he just starts going after Angelus, and just, crashes their party and almost gets him. I
Yeah.
mean, he's so close. He's got that, he's got that 2x4, and he's got it on flames, and, if only he could have gotten him.
Well,
If only.
he's got a real badass side.
Yeah, Giles looked pretty awesome in that scene, I gotta say. Like he had him on the ropes for a second.
Yeah.
And I love that Spike is just holding back Drusilla at that moment too. He's just like, don't go in unless he tags you.
uh,
I love that. I love that. Um, so Buffy comes and saves him, of course, figures it out, comes to save him. And then there's that other great moment where Angelus gets away, and he says, "You're going to let your daddy die," or something like that. Like he
mhm,
actually calls him her father.
mhm.
And she goes and saves him, and she takes him outside, and then she just like,
Breaks down.
he's like, "Why did you come here?" And then she just punches the crap out of him.
She's mad. And she's like, what she says, she can't lose him too, and it's
Yeah, of
understandable.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah. But boy, I was thinking like I would not like to get punched by Buffy.
No, definitely
Eek.
not.
So then that leads us to, okay, I want to detour for a second and just talk a little bit about there was another episode that we don't really have to talk about all the way, but it's just I Only Have Eyes for You, which is, I think it's kind of an underrated episode, because even though it's not like one of the main it's not one of the main, I think, episodes in terms of the lore or in terms of what happens in it, but I think that in terms of, you have that great moment at the end where it's like Buffy and Angelus kind of like say what they really want to say to each other. Like it actually makes it kind of manifests,
Mhm.
which I think is pretty awesome. So I know that they were possessed by ghosts and all that, but it was just pretty cool. And it was interesting to see David Boreanaz play the female role there, and he's like, I can't help how I feel. I was just like, dude, that was just so amazing. Okay. So anyway, that was an episode.
That's
So
awesome.
becoming that was an episode, yeah. Becoming 1 and 2 now, so we've reached the finale.
Mhm.
And I think that not only is this like a top 10, again, another top 10 episode. A lot of top 10 episodes of season 2, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
But I consider Becoming 1 and 2 to be one episode,
Yeah.
because they're just so, like, they're so tied to each other.
Yeah.
And here's another character that we haven't really talked about, which is Kendra, the Vampire Slayer.
I always love Kendra.
What do you think of Kendra?
Well, I always, I mean, her character is different because the way she's like very focused on being a slayer, and that's about it. And she's a little immature in a lot of other ways, I think, because she's only
Mm-hmm.
focused on this part of herself. But I always loved Kendra. She's cute. She's, you know, she's got
I
that.
remember reading somewhere or hearing somewhere in like one of the commentaries or something that Bianca Lawson was told to do that accent that she
Yeah,
does,
yeah.
and that it wasn't really in the script or anything, and that they just told her to do it.
So she wasn't like
I
expecting.
kind of wish that they didn't tell her that.
It's a little over the top, but
It just seemed to, yeah, it seemed to be a little bit over the top. But anyway, still, regardless, I mean, it gets us this one really great line,
mm.
one of her awesome lines, which is, "That's my favorite shirt. That's my only shirt." I love that. And I love that she's the one that comes up with Mr. Pointy.
Oh, yes.
That's so amazing. Like, I would think that's Buffy, but no, it's Kendra.
Yeah.
Who would have thought it's Kendra?
You named your steak? You did.
Yeah, she named her steak.
I
know, I kind of love Kendra. She was interesting. She could have been a character that they could have used, I think, a little bit more.
Well, they used her for something.
Yeah, they definitely did, because Drusilla comes in and she basically puts over Drusilla.
Yeah.
And makes Drusilla stronger.
Yeah.
Which leads us to the line that Spike has where he's like, "Drew bagged a Slayer?"
She didn't tell me.
Yeah, he's like, "Good for her." And then he's like, "I guess not from your perspective." Oh man. So Drusilla kills Kendra
pretty easily.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like, Kendra didn't seem to have much fight in her at that point. Like, she dusts one of the vamps and that's it.
Yep.
But I guess they were trying to say like overwhelming odds and whatnot. So
yeah.
But yeah, and she gets her pretty easily, and then Buffy gets framed for the murder of Kendra.
Mm-hmm.
And Willow is injured.
Yep.
And Xander is injured. And pretty much everybody's kidnapped or what have you. Giles is kidnapped. And the Giles kidnapping leads us to the scene with Drusilla where she kind of hypnotizes him, and all of a sudden you see Jenny Calendar.
Yeah.
And I thought, not only was that creepy, it was also just really good to see Robbie Lamort again.
Like
playing Jenny Calendar
at the same time, from like,
and it was sad.
Perspective,
Yeah, and poor Giles, they like, he'd been tortured and stuff like that. Like, I'm amazed that Giles actually forgave Angel.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I know that he even says that to him. He's like, "You tortured me and you took joy in it." Like, he's like, in the later seasons, I don't know. I probably would not have forgiven him.
I always find that kind of weird, because they're, in my mind, not the same person at all. So I guess
But it seems like they're the same.
Right.
So yeah, but ultimately I think that's the reason why he does forgive him, is because they're different people. But it's hard to make that disconnect. It's hard to disconnect the two of them because they look the same.
Same memories,
same memories. Yeah. Angel knows what he did.
Right.
Anyway, so they figure out how to open up the Akathla demon and open the portal to hell, and which will envelop the earth and swallow everybody, and that'll be it for the human race.
Right.
And I think that one of the most interesting things about this is that you find out where Spike really is at in terms of his badness.
Yeah, and his desire.
And it's kind of the first hint that, it's kind of the first hint that he actually is not as bad as you think he is. No. Like, a lot of it's a front.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, and he has that line where he actually saves Buffy from getting arrested. And then he says he doesn't want to destroy the earth because he likes it. Because he's got all the little human beings walking around like Happy Meals with legs.
So perfect.
And he doesn't really care if Buffy and Angelus kill each other. He just wants safe passage out of Sunnydale with Drusilla.
Right. He just wants the girl he's in love with and just to get out of there and have the world not be sucked into hell.
So basically he just wants that.
Yeah.
And I think that it speaks volumes of his character because, here he is again, like, he would rather have love or whatever you could call that he has with Drusilla.
Yeah.
We would rather have that than destroy the world.
Right. He's more connected to the humanity he has in him than the
Exactly.
demonic side is
Exactly.
in him. Like that's not as powerful.
Yeah. And again, it's an interesting thing because it seems like only Spike has that.
Yeah, definitely. Very strange.
And in the middle of this, we have him and Buffy are teaming up, and they go to see Joyce. And at first, they try to hide who she is
Mm-hmm.
by saying that Buffy's a drummer,
What do you do?
and Joyce
Well, I
and
think.
Joyce, yeah, yeah. Joyce is like, what do you do? And he's like, well, I sing.
It's the way he says it.
And I just love the fact that again is foreshadowing because
He
in
does.
season 6 we have the musical episode, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Anyway, and he does sing. There you go. Good job, Spike. But I in my notes for this episode, I wrote down that when they reveal Buffy's true identity to her mother Joyce, it goes about as well as it did when Iceman and Rogue did it in X-Men 2. And because she actually says, "Have you tried not being a Slayer?
Yeah, Mom, it doesn't work.
Have you tried not being a mutant?" It's so funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, poor Joyce. She was so desperate, and
I
she
mean, of
just
course, like she's not
didn't
gonna
get it, didn't understand it.
no, because it's dangerous, and like even if she realizes that her daughter's not crazy, she's telling the truth. It's like I don't really want my kid to be a Slayer that has to save the world all the time. Like, no thanks.
Of
Can you
course.
can you not do that, Buffy?
And then of course you have the scene where she basically tells Buffy, if you walk out this door, don't bother coming back.
Well, yeah.
And Buffy has to decide to go and save the world because that's her responsibility.
She doesn't mean it too. Like how many parents say stuff like she
Yeah,
doesn't
she
mean
doesn't
it.
mean it.
She
She
would
doesn't mean it.
not let her come back. Like she's
But
just saying
Buffy,
it as a tool in hopes that she will not go because she says it.
yeah, but Buffy takes it seriously and
Yep.
goes
And then doesn't come back.
and doesn't come back. And so Buffy then basically she goes into action to save Giles and stop Angelus from summoning the Akathla demon and opening up the portal. And before she does that, she runs into Xander. Which actually we should cover that a little bit because Xander basically is still around and he's okay. He's a little bit pissed at Buffy and he's very enraged towards Angelus. And he goes to see Willow. And Willow is still knocked out and she's still in the hospital and he tells her that she basically, he loves her.
Uh-huh.
And do you think he meant love her, or do you think he meant loves her deeply as a friend?
I think it's I feel like he means probably deeper and doesn't realize it. I don't think like he's really aware of what he's expressing to her. I just think it's like, he sees her hurt, loves her, just wants to say that to her. I don't know that it's like a conscious, like him trying to profess like some sort of deeper romantic love or anything. I just think he's
and then, of
think
course,
they make it feel that way with the awkwardness of Oz showing up and being like, "Oh no,
yeah,
sorry."
yeah, exactly. We have that old saw of like all of a sudden when he thinks that she's gonna call out to him and then she says Oz instead, and he's just like, well, I guess that's that.
Yeah.
Time to go get a ramen noodles from the thingy over there. Anyway, the vending machine. That's what I'm trying.
Is that the word
I'm trying to say?
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, so we're almost done. So anyway, then that leads us to Willow actually wanting to do the reinsoulment cure or the reinsoul spell to curse Angel again. And of course that leads us to that awesome scene where she's just like Xander, do you see my resolve face?
You know what this means?
I love that scene. Yeah, she's like, you know what this means? Resolve face. Yeah, she's amazing. Willow is amazing. So then Xander, knowing that Willow is going to try to reinsole Angel, goes and spots Buffy on her way to battle. And instead of telling her that there's a chance that she might be able to save Angel, he instead says, kick his ass.
Yeah.
And I think that's dirty football on Xander's part.
It definitely wasn't fair, because then he's also like putting words in Willow's mouth and he's being dishonest,
Exactly.
which, is never okay. I think that there's like a flip side to it of maybe it's not as malicious as it seems, and maybe his concern is that she's going to be more focused on trying to save Angel than it could get her killed. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And ultimately it wouldn't have made a difference because he had already opened it. So
yeah, he already opened the portal.
Right, there was nothing that could be done. I mean, by the time she gets to that point, she knows that he's him again anyway, and still has to go through with it. So it wouldn't have changed anything, but it still was definitely messed up to lie and make it seem like Willow said that when not what she said.
No, not at all. But anyway, so we get into this like super badass sword fight between Buffy and Angelus, which is really, really good. Who saves Giles? I forget.
Xander.
Oh, Xander. Xander saves Giles.
There's a great part where he says that too. And he's
there's that great moment. That's true.
What does he say? Oh, they get in my head and make me see things I want. Then why would they make you see me? All right, let's go.
There's another great moment where Buffy loses her sword, and then you see Angela standing over her, and he's got like the sword ready to go, and then Spike has Drusilla in his arms, and he's like, oh my god, he's gonna kill her. And then he just kind of goes, well, whatever, and just walks out.
Shrugs, all right.
He just shrugs and just walks out. And I think that that's like one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Like James Marsters is so great, so perfect. And then, of course, there's that moment where Angelus just says, like, what do you have left when all this is taken from you? And, she's lost pretty much everything. She's lost all her support. She's lost, she lost Kendra. Yep. And she's lost her mom, or so she thinks.
And she's expelled.
And she's expelled. She's lost her school. She's lost her friends.
Gone,
she's lost her watcher. She's lost her love.
Yeah.
She's lost her sword.
Yep.
She's lost everything.
Yeah.
So then, and then he says, what do you have left? And she says, me.
Well, because then he goes through it, right? And he says, no weapon, no friends, no hope. Yeah. What do you have left? Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very powerful. Like, she's still enough on her own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's becoming 1 and 2. And that's like, and of course she succeeds and defeats Angelus. And that's the awesome sword fight. And, then at the end, all of a sudden, Angel comes back because Willow's spell works. So she reinsoles him. Right before the portal is open, Angel doesn't know what's going on. He's like, where am I? I feel like I haven't seen you in weeks.
Yeah.
And then you find out that she she has to close the portal. She has to kill him. Or what she thinks, at least sacrifice him.
Yeah. Right.
So she stabs him through the heart and sends him to hell and sacrifices everything.
Yeah. I feel like whenever they do big scenes like that, it really expresses the difference between what makes a hero and what makes someone that's not capable of being a hero. Because I always put myself in that position and consider that I probably would not be capable of playing the hero role. Like, I know a lot of people want to see themselves as the hero, I could do it, I could be the hero, I could be the lead, and I don't think that I would be capable of it, because the type of sacrifice that it takes for her to have to kill the person that she loves more than anybody in the world and say goodbye to him when she gets him back to save the world is pretty intense. That takes a very powerful, strong, it takes a real hero. And
it does.
She really is one. I don't think I could do it.
I don't think I could do it either.
The world burn. That's okay. I got you back.
Well, I mean, considering that the portal was open and that's the only way to shut it, I mean, maybe.
it's reasonable, right? Because like that means everybody goes to hell, them included.
But
But
that's still rough.
yeah, it still is.
I mean, especially with the fact that he comes back.
Yeah,
Like if it was just Angelus, she would have just been like,
easy.
sure,
Right.
whatever.
Angel's gone
Yeah,
anyway. Yeah, but she gets him
exactly.
back right then, and it's like, yeah, ugh,
Then it's like, oh crap,
cruel.
now this
It's
means
so cruel.
something.
Joss is cruel.
He
uh,
is. He's a very cruel man. I think it's the hair. I think it's just hair envy.
uh,
Poor Joss. We're just beating up on Joss right now, but I love him. I love
it's
Joss.
a
I love
love
Joss
hate,
Whedon.
you know. It's can't not love him for what he created.
Yeah, yeah, he did good. But yeah, I mean, and then she, of course, in the aftermath of that, she just leaves because what else is there for her?
Yeah.
In a way, she's sort of what Angelus was telling her basically comes true because it's like she does kind of deny who she is, and she does kind of, even though she says me in the midst of that. But at the end of the show, she really just does kind of run away from it.
Yeah. Like she can
So I think
like
that's interesting too. And then of course we'll pick up with season 3 and talk about those episodes in a future podcast. But yeah, I mean it's well, gosh, this was so nice. This was nice talking to you about this stuff, and we always have our conversations about it anyway. But this is just like making it official here. So
yeah, thanks for
yeah,
having
I
me
mean
on.
it's a hell of a show. We both love Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I came to it much much later than you did. I think you watched it when it
Yeah,
first
I
aired.
was a
Yeah,
wee child.
Kirsten.
Cut out.
Uh oh, might have lost her. Hold on. Well, okay, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this up. So, that was the first episode of our Buffy podcast. I call it Buffy with the Besties. And that was Kirsten, who you can find on Instagram and on Facebook. Her Facebook is Kirsten Moody, and her Instagram is actually called Red Sunflower Pins. So, if you can, please go ahead and add her and support her and follow her. And if you guys want to follow me, my name is Keona Tang. You can always reach me on Twitter, or you can reach me on Facebook or on Instagram. I am at Renegade Pop Culture. And we will catch you guys next time. We're going to cover season 3 of Buffy on the next one. And so, yeah, we'll see you soon. All right. Thanks, Renegades. Good night.